is the foundation of impact, and our next Earth session is building your financial bedrock. Jamila Amira Sorrell is the founder and primary housing consultant at Waypoint Design Partners, where she combines financial empowerment and lifestyle design to help clients make aligned decisions with confidence. Through consulting, facilitation, and education, she helps people move from uncertainty to clarity while building a foundation for their next chapter. Everybody, please welcome Jamila to the conference.
Thank you. Thank
Yay!
you, Miss Deborah, for that wonderful introduction. And I'm so happy for the opportunity to speak to everyone here today. And I just want to piggyback on Teresa's amazing presentation that she gave. I've been through many different seasons in my life, and I can tell you that each season that I've been through have prepared me for where I am today. And it was lessons in every single season. So yes, you do have to go through each and every season. But if you stick through it, there is beauty on the other side of it. Today, I'm going to be talking about building your financial bedrock with confidence. And as I was preparing this presentation, I had to ask myself, what does building your financial confidence mean to me? And when I asked myself that question, it took me back to a time where I was working a 9 to 5. And I remember when I wanted to explore something else. And I actually started looking at bartending school. And I was like, I really want to go to bartending school. And I had this big dream to be a traveling bartender. And so I did all of the things. I got my liquor license. I went to bartending school. I planted those seeds so that I could set myself up for what I really wanted on the other side of things. And I started to apply for jobs, and I ended up getting this one interview, and it was a great opportunity. They were perfectly okay with me being a beginner. They were perfectly okay with me learning. They were willing to teach me everything I knew. And there was only one problem with that situation. They wanted me to start full time. Now, I told you that I had a 9 to 5, and although I didn't like my job all the way, I still wanted to ease into it. I was like, well, can I start part time first? But they wanted me to start full time because of course, being there more, I'll be able to pick up on the job a little bit quicker. And so I was like, well, I was scared. In that moment, I wasn't thinking about that dream that I had to be a traveling bartender. I was thinking about my house. I had rent to pay. I was thinking about my car note. I was thinking about my dog. She got to eat. So I was so scared to take that opportunity, even though that was something I had dreamed and it was something that I had worked for so hard. When the opportunity came, I couldn't take it. Imagine me going back to my desk the next day at my job after I literally turned down my dream opportunity. If I didn't hate my job before, I definitely hated it then. Looking back at that time, I think about what would have made me feel more confident to take on that position. And the only thing that I can really think of is, what if I had a more stable foundation with my money? Imagine that same exact situation, but instead I had 3 months of my savings in a bank account. Imagine that same exact situation, but I had 6 months of my expenses sitting in a bank account somewhere. I don't know everything, but I can tell you that I probably would have took that job. So when I think about building my financial bedrock, I think about being confident enough to take on opportunities. I think about, what decision can I make today that puts me in alignment with the future and the life that I want to live tomorrow. So if I could give you guys a roadmap that you can start right now. This is what I would tell you to do. The first thing that I would tell you guys to do is understand your relationship with money. Everybody on this call has some kind of relationship with money. Whether it's a good relationship or a bad relationship, everybody has some kind of relationship with their money. You have to understand that relationship, and understanding that relationship allows you to cover any of those little limiting beliefs that you have around your money so that you can start thinking differently and start building a more stable financial foundation for yourself. If you need help with this and if you don't really know where to start, I'm going to ask the moderators to put in the chat the link to my money mindset journal. It's not this journal is really here to help you unpack any kind of anything that has to do with your money. It's a guided journal and it's there for you to help you flush out those thoughts and really organize them so you can get started on your money journey. The second thing that I would tell you guys to do is you have to understand what your money is doing today. So you need to know each and every month how much money is coming into my life, how much money is leaving my life. And this could be done through budgeting. You can start tracking your expenses. I got something that you can actually start right now. Everyone uses a bank here. At least I hope you do. Everyone uses a bank. Go to your banking app, whether it's Regions, whether it's Bank of America, whoever you use. Go to your banking app right now and look at your last month's banking statement. And that'll tell you everything that you're doing with your money. It might scare you, but that step is necessary to get to the next chapter of your lives. So open up your bank account, look at your bank statement, and what I would consider a healthy bank statement is a bank statement that's hitting three buckets. The first bucket is, are you paying your bills? That's the most important thing. You got to pay your bills. Are you able to get those bills paid each and every month comfortably? The next thing is, are you able to afford the things that you want? I'm not one of those people who believe that you should be super strict with your money. I'm a girl, I like to get my hair done, my nails done, and your budget should allow for you to do that. So are you able to get the things that you want at the same time? The last thing that you want to check are you saving money consistently? If you are hitting each of those three buckets, paying your bills, getting the things that you want, and saving your money, then that's a healthy budget to me. The third things that I want you guys to do is I want you to treat every dollar that you save like you're buying back time in your life. So I'm going to do a little math here, but if you make $20 an hour, every time you save $20, consider that you buying back time in your life. Because I think back when I was working that job, if I had saved up enough money, not only would that have made me more confident to take on that opportunity, but it also would have gave me options, and it also would have made me feel like I had the time to figure things out before my life at home got ugly. So just to give you guys a recap, first you have to understand your relationship with money. Second, you have to know what your money is doing right now. And third, start treating every dollar you save like you are buying yourself more time and you're buying yourself more options for your future. So I remember having this conversation with my boyfriend, and he was telling me that he had enough money in his savings account to where if he missed a day of work, he would be perfectly fine. And I can't lie, I was a little jealous because I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Because when I wanted to do something else with my life, I didn't have that option. But I could imagine being able to say, oh, I have 3 months in my bank account. I have 3 months of expenses in my bank account. I have 6 months of expenses in my bank account. I'm okay. I think about how many things that I could have did. And when I did learn my lesson and I did step into an opportunity that I wanted to take advantage of. That opportunity, it paid less. That's true. But the difference is I had money saved in my account. So when that opportunity did come across my table, that is the opportunity that I finally was able to walk away from my 9 to 5 and walk into something that felt uncertain. And the difference between that opportunity and the first opportunity when I went to bartending school is the decision that I made to prioritize my financial future and start making decisions that allowed me to live the life that I wanted to live. So, if you guys don't take anything from this conversation that we had today, I want you to remember that every dollar you save is buying you time back into your life. And you owe it to yourself to buy yourself the time to have options and to create a future of financial freedom. When we think about the past conversations that we had, and creating opportunities, and our life does change. One thing that will make those decisions a lot easier is how stable you feel in the foundation that you have built for yourself. So yes, I kept this really, really short today, but I do want to leave the opportunity for any questions that you may have. But if you are ready to gain clarity around your finances, and if you are ready to identify anything that may be holding you back so you can start making aligned and confident decisions, I want you guys to please, please, please download that Money Mindset Journal so that you can use that journal as a guide to start building that clarity. And I want you guys to remember the goal is not just to save money, the goal is to create a life that gives you options and actually supports the life you want. Because the difference between someone who feels trapped and limited today is the decisions that they make today.
Jamila, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. One of the reasons why I really wanted you to join us today, and by the way, thank you, another one who answered the Google alert out there, is that, and it also relates back to what Teresa said about the seasons, because you know, so many times when we're making decisions about how much is my next salary, what is my raise going to be, we don't take into consideration the longer term things. We might take into consideration, okay, can I pay my bills? Can I get my hair and my nails done? Maybe eat out, go to dinner every once in a while, and make sure that I can put a little money away. But the bigger strategy, when you can become the person who's like, no matter what happens, I've got a couple of months of safety here, is to think about that when you're asking for your next salary, to incorporate putting some money in a savings account and putting some money in a retirement account. Do you have advice, especially for women out there, on how to figure any of that stuff out? Do you start small? Do you start big? How do you work back? I mean, are you working backwards for how much money you think you need when you retire? Any advice on that?
Yeah, so the best piece of advice that I can give um, on that is first you have to know how much money do you actually need for you to feel comfortable. So what that looks like is knowing your survival number. To me, your survival number is what amount of money do you need a month to take care of your home life? Just simply pay your bills. What does that number look like? The next thing is, what does your comfort number look like? Your comfort number to me is a number where you can pay your bills, get everything you want, and save money. That's a number where you can hit each one of those buckets. To figure that out, my favorite thing to use is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your total income should cover your bills. 30% should cover the things that you want, and then 20% should go to your savings. So if your survival number is $1,300. That's your expenses. Then that would mean $2,600. I don't know whose numbers are that low, but just throwing easy numbers out there. If your survival number is $1,300, then if you double that, because that's 50%, then your comfort number would be around $2,600. And making and running all of your jobs through that filter can help you determine whether a job will give you that space. Of course, the most you can get, the better. But having a job that runs you through that filter gives you that space. And when it comes to retirement, don't be afraid to ask a job about their benefits. Ask about 401k. Ask about stocks. Some jobs have really good benefits, and it's important to know what you're walking into so that you can prepare for that, and get the most out of each opportunity.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. And you will be joining our panel after our next session with Sandy Hubbard. Thank you so much.